On this episode of Curated Eccentricities, we're taking a road trip. It's a semi-lovely late October day. At least it isn't snowing or raining. So my friend Tom and I are going out in his nice little car, which I'll ask him to tell you about. I've got some questions for him, and we're going to a very special location. So I'll film for a while and ask Tom questions, and then do more filming when we get close to our gastronomical destination. So here's Tom. And Tom, tell us about your car.
Sure, it's a 1966 Triumph TR4A. It's an English car that the company was in competition with a much better known MG and other cars of that English ilk. Certainly the Jaguar would have been a big step up, but Sunbeam also made a little car like this. Some of you who remember Get Smart might remember that Maxwell Smart drove a little red Sunbeam.
Was that the same Sunbeam that made household appliances?
I don't believe it was. It was part of an English company called the Roots Group, R-O-T-T-E-S. So, although, who knows, maybe the Sunbeam fans and air conditioners started over there. I kid my brother, who has one, that his car is part of an appliance family.
I probably appreciate that a lot.
But Triumph is part of the same family that made Triumph motorcycles. Many of your viewers may remember that that was a big-time competitor in the late 40s and 50s. Buddy Holly and his Crickets each bought Triumphs when they made their big hits in the late 50s. In any event, this Triumph was aimed at the young, what we call today, yuppie groups of the 1960s. This one came out in 65, 66, and 67 as basically the same car with no changes until they put a 6-cylinder in it and called it the TR5 instead of the TR4A. The A indicated that unique for an option in sports cars, you got to choose what kind of suspension you wanted, and briefly you could have a live axle or old-fashioned leaf suspension, or you could get an independent rear suspension, which in the 1960s was rather new for the British car market. This has the live axle or leaf type suspension, and it actually got changed for the first time since the car was built on my birthday in 1966. Now that wasn't the day that I was born, but my 15th birthday, April 13th, this car came off the line, and we changed the suspension about 4 or 5 years ago when one of the springs finally broke. So it held up for a good long time.
Now, how did you come upon this car, and how long have you owned it?
We've owned it since, I believe it was 1985. We drove up to north of Bay City, where my in-laws had a place on Saginaw Bay, and my brother-in-law happened to have a car shop. He did repairs as well as selling used cars on the side. This is in the little town of Pinconning, which is more famous for their Pinconning cheese than for their sports cars. And he had Baby, which is what we call her, Baby, sitting on their side lot. Somebody had traded it in for a truck, and it was summertime, so he brought it up to the cottage, and almost like putting a puppy in your arms and saying, "Here, wouldn't you like to take this baby home with you?" We agreed that since we had no children to spend money on, we would spend it on ourselves and have a fun car to drive.
Now, how many miles are on it?
Oh, well, I'll tell you what's on the odometer here, but I had two of them that came with the car. So this one says 8,927, but that may have been from a totally different automobile.
Right, yeah.
It just happened that this speedometer, odometer worked better than the other one, so that's the one that's in this car.
Okay. So it's lost to history.
It is lost to history. I'll just say that my wife and I probably take it out for less than 100 miles a week during the driving season, April through November. So it doesn't get a lot of miles, but we try to get it out on fun roads so that it's more than just a parade car.
Right, right. Now, what's the fastest speed you've ever gone in this vehicle? And I can blank that information out if it's too embarrassing.
I think I could honestly say that I might have gotten it up to about 80 miles an hour, although the speedometer goes up to 120. It's rather like, from a safety aspect, driving a can of tuna fish, that if you ran into anything, you just might end up as a road casualty.
Right.
So
yeah.
even with the 3-point safety belts that we have, it's probably best to drive only fast enough so that you can pull over or stop
Yes.
within a reasonable
Yes.
distance.
Okay. Well, I know you'll keep that in mind as we're going along this winding country road where, being Michigan, this time of year, deer have a penchant for stepping out and seeing what they can see on the roadway.
Absolutely. In fact, I often fear that we would end up with one sitting with us inside the car with the top down. So, yeah, we're being kind of careful.
It's just approaching the horizon. You can see it if you look carefully. There it is. There it is. You can hear the angelic choirs. Yes, this is our stop, A&W, Dexter, Michigan. There'll be more after we have our food. Well, it's lunchtime here at the Dexter A&W, and we're enjoying a fine fare of expertly prepared gourmet comestibles, and we wanted you to enjoy them with us, at least visually and philosophically. Well, we are on our way back to the big city after a great lunch and a comfortable ride. So I'll film a little bit more of winding road that we're taking. Well, our journey has come to an end. I'd like to thank my friend Tom and his nice little red Triumph. We hope you enjoyed going along with us to the A&W in Dexter, Michigan.